Hello, all you wonderful soupy listeners out there. This is Amy with a Y. I just wanted to take a little minute before we start the show to let you know that Amy and I have been having a few recording issues. They should be resolved in the next week or two. I don't want to cast any blame. I'm just going to say we think it's coming from Chicago, and maybe Tom and Cecil are doing something to sabotage our show. But in the meantime, we've got our wonderful editor, Rich, working out the kinks, and with this episode, there is a little spot somewhere in the episode you probably won't even notice, but it's going to just be kind of awkward, and you miss an entire discussion about youth pastors and how they always look like child molesters, so I apologize for that. But I just wanted to give you that heads up and let you know that we are aware of our kind of weird audio issues, and we are working on them, and hopefully if Tom and Cecil get their shit together and stop messing with our show, we will have things just at about perfection level for you very soon. So enjoy the show. Welcome to Secular Soup. I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I.
And we're just two blueberries floating in a bowl of tomato soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else we want to talk about, because this is our show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity. Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup. Yay. Episode 11.
I did jazz hands when I introduced myself. Could you hear it?
I could.
Okay.
It was,
Yay.
It's like, I think we have a psychic connection.
Awesome.
So
I was like, Amy with an I, jazz hands.
I could feel it. I think we should do jazz hands every time we do that now.
Agreed. Strong disagree.
That could be our new thing.
I mean, strong agree. Yeah. I'm just so used to disagreeing with you. I'm sorry. It's habit.
Oh, we finally agree on something. Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, it's just habit. I'm like, no, I disagree with you, Amy. You're wrong. And they're like, wait, you were right. I agree.
It's like a built-in reflex or muscle memory at this point.
It is.
It's the more you exercise it, the better it gets. So
I don't understand what either of those words mean. More and exercise. Don't know what you're talking about.
So we discussed for today, since we stay on topic really well
in our extensive planning meetings.
We did about a 5-hour planning meeting today.
Yeah, I have nothing
just before this episode.
We just got out of it.
Yeah, you've got all your notes and everything, right?
I laminated them.
Okay.
I stepped aside to laminate them.
Did you? And they're tacked up on the bulletin board in front of you,
Naturally.
so you can refer to them quickly. Okay, good. We decided that a fun thing to do at the beginning of each episode would be to answer a random question, because we don't have enough randomness in our show. Everything's so scripted and nothing's really off the cuff.
Yeah,
so
it feels too uptight for our personalities. It's very it's hard to kind of rationalize in my brain with how scripted we are.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is bring a little bit of spontaneity to this podcast, for you listeners. And I found this little book that I've had on my bookshelf forever, and I have no idea where I got it or why I have it, but it's called The Book of Questions, and it's literally just a book of 200 random-ass questions that mean really nothing. So we thought at the beginning of each episode, we'd just randomly pick one and discuss our answers. So you ready to do this?
Sure.
Okay. Pick a number, any random number.
I can pick my age. 27.
27? Okay. Sure. Everybody believes you.
Shh.
Yep. Totally believes you. Okay. Ooh, here we go.
Oh.
Question 27.
Awesome.
Listen closely.
I'm listening.
If God appeared to you in a series of vivid and moving dreams and told you to leave everything behind, travel alone to the Red Sea, and become a fisherman, what would you do? What if you were told to sacrifice your child? Okay, I'm just going to say, I didn't think this was like a Christian book. Maybe it is. Most of the questions aren't religious.
Totally
like this,
okay.
But,
I have an answer.
What's your answer?
I would commit myself.
You would do it? You would go full?
No. I would commit myself. Like I would walk my happy ass to
like an asylum,
a mental hospital, and I would commit myself. Yes. Absolutely.
I would start a new religion.
Of course you would.
Make shitloads of money off of it. I mean, the hard thing would be sacrificing my child. I'd have to pick which one. So maybe I would pit them in a competition against each other.
Probably just sacrifice both of them so God loves you twice as much.
That's a good point.
Really,
and it saves money on
everything on
bills
everything.
Soccer team, soccer shoes, those cleats, they're fucking expensive.
So expensive. I have a kid in
They
band.
really are. It's ridiculous. Oh God.
Oh.
I talked my kid into doing the drums in band because then all you got to buy is some drumsticks.
Yeah, we do the trumpet and
when
my oldest was in percussion. That was fun. So, yeah, no, I would commit myself.
My oldest
just
was
put
in
myself in the
percussion,
hospital and say I'm hearing voices telling me to commit crimes, and I would get on all the medications.
Well, I guess if God appeared to me in a series of vivid and moving dreams, I would wake up and go, that was a weird dream.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, doesn't seem like a hard one to answer.
Do they still do electroshock therapy?
They can. I mean, you can request it.
I think I would.
You could probably buy a home kit. If you go on Goop, do you think they have...
Can you request where you get electroshock? Does it have to be your head, or can you pick? You're like, I want to electroshock my foot or my ass.
Oh, I think we know where you want to electroshock yourself.
I said foot.
There's no shame.
I said foot.
Well, I mean, once you've got the electroshock,
I'm gonna put
whatever
it wherever
they are,
I
the
want.
attachments, you can do whatever you want with them. It's fine. And totally safe.
Of course they are.
Totally safe.
They're like, does my Hitachi attachments attach to my electroshock?
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Why not? Sure. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was...
Inquiring minds want to know.
That was a terrible first question. So next week, hopefully our random number will find us a better one.
Oh.
Although that might be proof God exists, that you picking that random number and then me finding that one was a God question.
You mean
maybe that was a test?
Knowing what the number was?
I mean, it's all God works in mysterious ways.
Okay. I'm confused that if I say a number and you flipping to the actual number. Okay.
No.
Okay. No, I get it. It's a miracle.
It makes sense.
Okay. No, you're right. It's a miracle.
It's my second miracle of the day, so I need one more and then I'm good.
Yeah, you're saint.
Did you see my post I made about my miracle ring save?
I did.
That I could tell everyone. If you're following us on Facebook, you will have read this story already. But some of you fuckers probably haven't followed us on Facebook yet because you can't get your shit together. So basically, I lost my wedding ring this morning in a parking lot. And when I realized my ring was missing, I remembered that it probably fell off my lap when I got out of my car when I was at the mall. And I drove back there and found the ring sitting in the snow in the parking lot right next to where I had parked. Jesus saves. Amen.
Wow.
Good times.
That happened to my phone once. I left it in the parking lot and it was upside down in a puddle right next to where my car was. And it had been there the entire time I was in the hospital visiting, and I came back out and it was right there and it was fine. I still use the same phone.
Yeah. That actually happened to me another time with my glasses. I did the exact same thing where I took my glasses off for I probably had taken off my sunglasses, put the other ones on, put my glasses in my lap. I don't know. Got out of the car, realized it later, drove back to the store, went to where I had parked. They were sitting there. No one had driven over them.
Wow.
Totally safe.
Wow.
You'd think I'd learn my fucking lesson by now, not to put things on my lap and get out of the car.
Seriously.
But apparently Jesus can save my wedding ring and my glasses, just not my memory. So
yeah, but just not, kids.
Mysterious ways, folks. So what we were going to discuss tonight at the request of our awesome friend Roxy, who lives in Australia, is body shaming.
Yes.
So we are going to shame the shit out of some bodies tonight.
I don't think that was her intention. I think that's...
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because she said body shaming, and right away, of course, I thought of Tom and Cecil, because we could shame so much about their bodies, and I thought that could be its whole episode. But if that's not what we're doing, we're going to have another planning meting, and I don't know how this is going to work.
You can go ahead and do that, and then we'll circle back to what she actually meant. But go have at it.
Well, now I don't want to anymore because it's not fun.
Oh, okay.
So
now that you have,
they know what's wrong with them.
They know what they did. They didn't play a recording. That's what they did.
Yeah, you fuckers. We took 15 seconds out of our day just to record something, and then I had to email it. I fucking hate email and everything associated with it, but I did it. I sacrificed. I took one for the team, and they didn't even play it on their 400th episode. Fuck you, Tom and Cecil.
And shame for bodies or something.
Shame. So something body shaming, I don't even know where to start with body shame. I mean, I don't know. You start. Take some initiative, Amy.
Okay. So like, when it's bad to have a body. No, it's sorry.
Body shaming's bad. Okay.
It's bad and stuff. Okay. No, it's when I'm saying you like in general, not you yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when it's when Amy with a Y disparages someone for the way they look and the way their body is, if they're overweight or underweight, or their skin is a certain color, or anything, something that it can't be helped. The way you look cannot be helped, and yet that's what is focused on and picked on.
And that's what you judge people on. You see them and you don't
categorize them, and you put them.
Yeah.
I tell my kids there are things to make fun of people for. Absolutely. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
If people are assholes, they're assholes. But you do not make fun of someone for things they cannot help. Their disabilities, the way they look, their skin color, their intellect, their gender, their sexuality, their, everything you can, those are off limits.
Right. Yeah.
If someone gets in your face and calls you a duty head, make fun of their vocabulary. Go for it.
Yeah.
If someone's an asshole, call them an asshole. But don't say, you're a fat asshole, because that's a line. You cross a line.
Or you're ugly, or just anything that's...
Right.
Yeah. I would say in our house, I'm already way too lax of a parent as it is. Because before I had kids, I was going to be super strict and it was going to be great. And then I had them. That all went out the window. But like my number one rule is that you need to be kind to people.
Exactly.
And I will get much more upset if I were to hear my kids call someone stupid or fat or ugly than I would if I just caught them swearing. Or,
my kids have the filthiest mouths. The filthiest mouths.
I mean, we don't even, like, that's just off limits. That's not something you call other people. It's not okay to, especially like the word stupid. That drives me nuts. And it's something that kids throw at each other. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. And that doesn't really tie into body shaming necessarily, but it's like,
it falls in that same category for me. That it's the untouchable.
Yeah. It's just mean. It's mean. Right. And
I mean, you can be mean and you can make people cry without shaming something they can't change. People are awful.
Absolutely.
People are awful, horrible people, but they can help that.
Yep.
If it's things they can help, tear them to shreds. Have at it. But all of those things that they can't help are off limits.
Right.
But I'm a monster. Yeah, just full disclosure. So,
well, but can you help that you're a monster? Not really. It's just who you are.
I mean, I'm a redhead.
You were born that way.
Yeah.
That's true. Fucking gingers.
So, yeah.
I
come from a long line of monsters, so probably not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. That's probably why we get along so well.
Probably.
We're all monsters in this family.
My mom hates it. She hates it when I tell people I was raised in a barn and she's right there. Like, I'll do something and she was like, I raised you better than I'm so sorry I was raised in a barn. And she was like, what? And I'm like, oh, my mom hates this joke. I say that in front of her and she's just like, oh my God. Like,
you are a monster.
Yeah, I love messing with my Mormon mom.
Yeah. No, body for me, like I've never really had a weight problem.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a perfectly average height. Like I kind of got lucky in that respect.
Right.
And the only thing that's ever kind of been thrown at me, honestly, is that I'm skinny. And I get a lot of, oh, you skinny bitch, or I wish I were skinny like you. And the first thing I do to shut those people up is tell them that I have a chronic disease, and that's why I'm skinny. Because literally the only reason that I'm skinny is I have a disease that doesn't, it makes it so that you don't absorb food properly. So I cannot gain weight, which honestly is the only upside. If you're going to have Crohn's disease, that's the one bonus for me, is that I can kind of eat whatever I want and never, ever gain weight. I just don't. And my doctor's always riding me to try to put on weight. And, I'm not complaining, because I like not really having to struggle with weight. It's something so many people struggle with, and it's hard. But people make assumptions right away. They'll look at me and, oh, you skinny bitch, or, I wish I was that skinny. And like, I don't do anything to have this body, and I don't feel like this body is better than somebody else's body. It's just the one that I have. And I don't know. I have a cousin who's the same way. She's always been underweight, just can't help it. It's not her fault. It's just part of her genetic makeup. She is underweight. She looks skeletal half the time, and it's been that way since she was a kid. And she also deals with people telling her, oh, you're so skinny. I wish I could be that skinny, and saying things like that. And she's like, no, I don't even, I think the moral of the story is we all have issues with our bodies. And there's just no reason to shame people, whatever their body type is.
Zero.
Well, you are pretty fabulous. So
I have no complaints about anything anywhere.
Yeah.
No, I've always been like curvy. I was never like overweight when I was in high school or anything, but I was always curvy. And, but when I had kids, I had trouble. Like, I just put on a lot of weight with babies, and I was never able to lose it. I would go to boot camp. I would work out in the gym. I was vegan for over a year. I was vegetarian after that. And I like counted calories, and I watched what I ate, and I just could not. I still have not been able to lose like the baby weight. And it just kind of hung around. And then, so I don't really mind, because I gained weight. I gained weight evenly over my entire body. So it just, like, I'm still curvy. It's just, a thicker curve kind of, but it bothers me because my body changed so drastically. But I've never been able to like get rid of it, no matter what I do. So,
well, and that's something.
I'm strong and I'm healthy, but I'm, thicker. So,
yeah. And
I'm super short. So that's always been more of an issue for me than anything else. Like, I would get the little comments, like, from guys, especially, like, since you're down there,
oh,
and I have, a chest, large chesticles. So it would be just staring down my shirt, or just swinging their hand back as they're walking and just grabbing my boob. I think that goes, and that's not body shaming. That goes into more of like sexualizing or harassment, full blown harassment. But it kind of came into my body makeup. Like, it just kind of always. So I'm always on the defensive when I'm walking places or doing things, because I'm, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Never know.
Yeah, that's kind of the state of being a woman.
Well, that's also the state of being a woman, and that's, it all kind of plays together. Like, women are supposed to look certain ways. They're supposed to do certain things. They're, and some of the nastiest comments I ever got were shocker from other women.
Yep.
So, because guys don't really care.
We're the worst.
Guys don't really care if you're skinny or if you're chunky, or, they honestly don't care. Like, most guys don't care what women look. They look at women and they like women and they appreciate the female body, but most guys don't care about cellulite or stretch marks or, whatever. They don't care. They like the boobs.
And it takes us a long Yeah, it takes us, I think, as women, just a long time to learn that lesson. Like, we grow up thinking that we need to be this ideal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that information in my brain, and I'm still super self-conscious all the time and just convinced that, you know, if anyone's going to ever see me naked again, I'm just going to probably curl up and die, which is really fun to be starting out the year, you know.
Yeah.
Not married.
New Year's.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, and I think if you ask most, you know, just the informal polling that I have done in my scientific studies, most men will tell you, like you said, they don't care about cellulite and stretch marks. And they just like naked bodies. Like, they're cool with whatever.
Well, and they like people that will be naked in front of them and with them. So
yes,
that's a huge plus.
They're very pleased by that.
Yes,
and I have friends who, you know, even at our age,
27,
you know, exactly.
It's in my brain.
Friends who still deal with body issues or weight issues and still feel like, you know, they're still single and they feel like nobody's going to care about them if they don't get to this idealized perfect weight or, you know, have this perfect haircut or do the, and it makes me, it just makes me sad because we put ourselves through such, I don't know. I look at them and I see just great people and they're judging themselves by what they think other people want to see. And they're amazing and it's okay. And they shouldn't have to spend their whole life just constantly going, well, when I get down to this weight or when I get to this point, or when I, you know.
I've been there. I would, when I was really strict, I was a strict vegan and I counted every calorie that went in and I weighed myself daily and I worked out, you know, pretty much all the time. And that's when I realized I am probably not going to get below a size 16, most likely. Like that's healthy for me. And I fluctuate between like a 16 and a 20, just depending on, you know, whatever. But that's just that's my body. And then I looked at, you know, other people. There's so many different body shapes and body types and I was like, why am I okay with everybody else's, but I'm not okay with mine? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, why can't I look at myself the way I look at other people and just be like, it's fine. It's fine.
And we do that too. I think with our friends, especially, we'll look at our friends and think, you know,
you're
gorgeous or I love you. You're wonderful. Yeah. But we don't do the same thing for ourselves. We don't cut ourselves as much slack as we'll cut all of our friends.
Right.
And on the other hand, you're right. There are a lot of women, and I'm certainly not immune, that will just silently judge other people for no fucking reason. And you have
because they're awful and they're monsters. I mean, all of them.
Yeah. I'm sure we could get plenty of people to agree that all women are terrible, but
the worst.
But yeah, we judge each other harsher than we do.
And then I go to the grocery store in yoga pants and a t-shirt. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, they're probably doing the same thing. So why am I judging them when they're just like, I don't care.
Yep.
So it's ridiculous. So
and
go ahead.
Go. Oh no, I was just gonna say it's got to be particularly hard for trans people or gender nonconforming people who feel like they have to fit this particular
model
of what they're supposed to, quote unquote,
what a woman is supposed to look like, what a man is supposed to look like, or or to fit in one category or another with your gender fluid. That's not the way things work. It's you are you, you are yourself, you are who you're comfortable being. It's not okay to be like, well, but I have to wear this or I have to do this or I have to present myself as. It's just not okay.
It's the rest of society that needs to fucking get on board and change and figure out that people are okay with who they are. Like it's.
How much do you think it falls into stereotypes? Because I think it's all really close in our brains because we have all these hidden biases. And, because it's like blondes are stupid or, brunettes or whatever. And people that look certain ways are, jocks or whatever. Like, it's all these stereotypes in your head. And you just kind of put people in categories and you just, Like that's just how they're seen. And it's really hard to step back and treat them in a way other than.
I mean, I
don't know.
Go through that in my own head constantly all day, especially, in a rural area.
I do. I have to pull it away. Well, I live in a rural area, but I live near enough to a large city, and Texas women with the big hair and the loads of money and their trophy wives. And it's really hard. Like when you meet someone who's kind of funky and cool, but they look that way, it's kind of like a disconnect in your brain. You're just like, what is, but she's smart.
What's happening?
Right. So it's kind of, because I've never looked like anyone ever. We've talked about how I couldn't rob a bank, probably.
Probably not.
We haven't.
I'll do that for you. I got you covered.
Okay, cool. Because they would be like, well, she's tiny and she has red hair and, like there's nothing, I couldn't get away with anything.
And she's wearing a crown. I mean, the crown would be the dead giveaway, so.
But I'm in all black because I'm mostly a ninja.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah, it's So there's this, I've never looked like anyone. I don't know where I was going with this, but I'm sure it was profound and amazing and changed.
I'm sure it was.
That's it.
Listeners can fill in the blanks.
Right.
I was just going to say, again, in a rural area, and this pertains more so to men than women in this area, I guess, but we've really got that kind of redneck culture down, the guys wearing camo and their camo hats and their camo coats. And
I'll see people like that all around.
Okay,
got it. I got a picture in my head.
I'm instantly judging those people in my head. Like,
for sure.
They're Trump voters and they're assholes and they're probably homophobes. And then I remind myself that I'm married to one of those. And if you were to just meet him on the street, you would assume that he is a sexist, misogynist, homophobic, Trump voting, just, but he's not at all. He just presents himself in a certain way and you get to know him. And so I'm constantly in this battle of trying so hard not to judge people based on what they look like or what they're wearing or how they're presenting themselves. And yet the awful part of my brain, the monster, is just constantly judging everybody all the time and looking around going, you voted for Trump, I fucking hate you. You voted for Trump,
well,
I
and you
fucking
kind of, I do that too, where I walk around, I'm like, how many
constant
of you
struggle.
did this?
And you think that just by looking at someone, you can ascertain exactly who that person is. And I do that a lot at work because I own a shop. So I have customers that come in and I will make snap judgments just immediately based on what somebody looks like or if they're wearing perfume or not or how they did their hair or what they're, and it's off. And I'll think to myself, this is awful that I'm making these assumptions about this person. I don't even know them. I've never met this person. But it's like my brain can't help but make some assumptions about who that person is. And then inevitably I'll get to know them and, it's a small little shop. So we'll chat and it turns out maybe they're fabulous and I love them and I love talking to them. And maybe they are horrible people. And
I mean, I have some of my best friends that voted for Trump and they're ashamed about it, but they did. And they just couldn't vote for that woman. And so... but whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think what we're saying is we are authorities on body shaming. This is really a topic that we prepared for.
And it's not exclusive to women because I know that there is a standard that men are held to too, especially if they're out in the world and they're dating, they want to be fit and they want to have, they want to look a certain way and they're self-conscious about, performance and size and height. And
they want to be tall and they, and losing your hair.
And there's a, I have this friend I was talking to and their date was put off or something. It's like, good, it gives me more time to go to the gym more and get in better shape. I'm like, oh my God, you're fine. Like everything's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Just calm down. I don't know if you'll ever hear this. Sorry if you do. bud.
Cat's out of the bag now.
No, because the thing is, it's the same thing with friends. You're like, you're a great person, and you know, it's stupid. Like, you're looking at them probably the same way everybody's looking at you and me and whatever. Like, you're amazing and you're great and you're wonderful.
Yeah.
Just go easy on yourself. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
What
do you think about the the phenomenon of, you know, your boyfriend Donald Trump, sexy as he is, gets a lot of body shaming thrown at him. And there's kind of two arguments. There's an argument that he's a horrible, horrible human being, so he deserves whatever he gets. And then there's an argument that it's still body shaming and we should not engage in it.
You know, the horrible human being stuff.
Supporting the president?
Well, the other night we were talking about this in bed. I had... No.
You and I?
Donnie and I.
Okay. I didn't remember
you were
that,
asleep.
So I wanted to see if I was blackout
drunk.
You
were asleep and I was there and it was awkward, but I was like, move over, Amy's husband. Mr. Amy.
Sorry.
He didn't like being called that either, but now I know.
Yeah. Well,
no, Donnie and I were in bed. Good. And, you know, I was talking about that, and he's the worst, literally the worst person ever. That he can help. He can help calling people names and making fun of them and threatening to get us blown up by North Korea and making shitty policies and, you know, all of mocking reporters and, you know, all the things he does. That he can help. He could probably help his skin tone too because he's orange. I think that's probably an okay thing to make fun of. But, you know, he's 70 something. Is he 70 or is he 70 something? I think he's 70 something.
He's like 100. He's like 125.
Maybe he's 725.
And he's never going to die.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
So
NSA, don't
everybody
listen
does.
to this.
Everybody dies. And so
that's true.
You know, I think making fun of his weight or making fun of his hair. I don't know. It's kind of allowed.
See, the hair,
because he can control that. He can control whether or not his suits
He can control
fit him
the hair
because he's fucking loaded and he can get his suits tailored.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm on the fence about this because I made fun of his vagina neck last week. So,
I forgot about
I was just saying that I don't want mine to turn into that.
It with a steamer from Goop.
Steam my neck. So yeah, no, I don't know. It's just I'm not entirely sure where I stand on that because he's awful and
yeah,
but that doesn't make it okay. And
I have a hard time with that one.
Don't do what we do. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think part of it is that because he's such an awful person, him specifically, and you know that his ego is all that drives him and feeds him. It's like, for him, it makes the body shaming fun, I want to say, just because you know it's going to eat at him so much. Not, you know, it's something, it's like
I don't know. Were you the one that told me? Someone told me that what he makes fun of people about is something that bothers him. And he always says, you know, little so-and-so and tiny this and short this and whatever. So he's really self-conscious about how tall he is.
Well, I don't think I said that, but it sounds profound.
Well, just take credit for it. Duh.
And that is a characteristic. Yeah. Narcissists do that.
No, I haven't done it this entire conversation.
Their insecurities onto other people. That's my Smalley sigh. I know. Did you hear that?
He does that all the time. It's great.
Yeah. That's why it's called the Smalley sigh.
I would do that back to him all the time. It was so funny. Oh, I shouldn't tell Smalley stories. I'm going to tell Smalley stories. So we'd be sitting.
Well, now we're going to be in a feud again. God damn it.
He likes me.
We need one more feud. Tom and Cecil aren't participating in this, so we could.
Yeah, he likes me just fine. So we would be sitting there, like hanging out or something, and he would just come in the room or something, and I'd be like, and he'd just look at me, and I was like, "Hey, Dave." Hey, David, what's up? So.
Oh my God. I would do that so much.
Because anything so for a laugh. So.
Mm-hmm. Good body shaming story.
Good body shaming story. That is not a body shaming story. Let me see.
I don't know what to say about body shaming. Like, if you're a decent human being, you should know that it's wrong to shame people for their bodies. You just should.
Right.
Yeah. Why are we still? I don't
have any particulars. So, well, I do, but I don't really want. I've always been very self-conscious being in a swimsuit, obviously, because I'm a woman, and you know, and I've always been.
It's the natural state of things.
But I had. Oh, this is gonna get like super, because you talk about your Crohn's disease. So I have had a lot of surgeries, like orthopedic surgeries, growing up, and so I've always had scars on my legs, and so I've always been very self-conscious of the scars in swimsuits. And even now, as an adult, I'll go over to friends' houses and I'll wear a swimsuit and a sarong, even though I'm just around like my closest friends. It's just, I'm so incredibly self-conscious of it, and I'm still not over it, even though I know no one will say anything. I know I'm shaming myself. Like, I'm putting myself in, if my thighs were thinner, or if the scars weren't as visible, or if anything was just a little different, I would feel better about myself. But I just don't. I simply do not feel confident and comfortable. So usually I just wear something super low cut, and I'm like, just look here instead. And, you know, pay no attention to anything below the waist. Even though that's where all the fun stuff is anyway. Sorry.
I do not have the large chest to work with.
Not gonna lie, it's not bad. It's pretty great.
I'm jealous. I really am. I don't like, with this, you know, skinny body of mine comes also a very small chest
them now,
that
you know.
only got big when I had babies. So you can, but I just don't.
Can you rent them from Chegg or something?
I don't know. Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm full of them.
I mean,
full of great questions.
I mean, I've got a few Wonder Bras, I'm not going to lie, but part of me feels like, do I need to, it's not me. I don't have a big chest. I don't need to pretend I do.
I mean, okay, it's not always great. Like last year I was lifting my son who'd had surgery. I was lifting his wheelchair into the car, and I tore my chest wall muscle. And because... it hurt. I thought I was having a heart attack. I literally thought I was dying because it hurt so fucking bad. Because it's the muscle right there on your chest, and I was having chest pains, and it was pinching a nerve, so it shot. I got the shooting pain down my left arm too. So I was like, "Oh, I'm dying. This is how I die." Because of my chesticle area, it's I don't know what else to call it. I do too.
I love that term.
So because of it, the doctors told me that it will never fully heal because the weight is always going to be pulling on it. So it's mostly healed, but every now and then, if it gets cold or whatever, I'll just feel like a pull in my chest, and I'm like, it's either a heart attack or the injury, and I'm hoping it's injury. I assume it's the injury because nothing's changed, you know, as far as anything else, but that kind of happens all the time. So that's a fun little tidbit. So,
ow. Yeah, I've had friends who've had to get, breast reduction.
My insurance declined me.
Back problems.
I went in to get checked before I get dropped from my, insurance that I'm on currently, because it's, imminent within like 4 weeks. Yeah. And so I figured I would, do the smart thing and get my breast reduction. And, I had an ablation, and, I'm just getting all my stuff taken care of before I lose health and
getting all
before I lose health
up.
insurance for, God knows how long. So exactly.
Because America.
No, it's because of American divorce. But so, I went in, and the doctor was like, oh yeah, you have the chest wall injury. You have all this stuff. You're a perfect candidate. Apparently my insurance company declines you unless you have cancer or have had cancer.
Oh my.
And he was like, God, this is your perfect candidate unless you have, XYZ insurance. I was like, and he was like, we will try. And then we will appeal, and then we will appeal again. I'm like, So I got these large packets explaining why I'm not injured enough for that. And he was like, well, you can do it out of pocket. It'll cost you about $3,800, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm just trying to afford milk here. So, no. So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
These are with me until I get better insurance or whatever. So, might as well.
Until Trump fixes healthcare and makes everything
I'm pretty
great.
sure boobs are not going to be covered in healthcare. Not reductions. Only, enlargements.
Yeah, only enlarge it. Yeah.
So
I was going to say you could talk to Donnie about it and see if he'd make an exception, but I guarantee he doesn't want you to reduce your testicle.
He takes out his hearing aids because I talk a lot. So
yeah, I would. I think that's what most of our listeners do. They take their earbuds out while you're talking, and then they just come back when I'm talking.
Figure it out somehow where I'm in one ear and you're in the other, and they just take one out, and they're just like, this show's delightful.
It's like how when I'm listening to Cogdis, I'll just skip through Tom's parts and just listen to Cecil, and then
liquid chocolate
keep doing that
voice
through the whole show.
Yeah. And I'm only listening to Tom, so it all works out.
Well, yeah, we're each
have
doing our part. So we can each only deal with half of that show on a regular basis. So that's what we got to do. I'm just saying. Why they haven't had us on their show yet is beyond me.
A bunch of assholes.
They're a bunch of body shaming fools is what they are.
So if they were, what's your favorite body shaming to do?
Like what kind of body shaming do I enjoy doing? If you were going to body shame someone,
what were you going to do?
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna make a confession that's going to make me sound like a monster because I am. But my favorite type of body shaming that I do in my head routinely is with short men who have big fucking attitudes. And I call it short man syndrome in my head. And when I meet a guy who's a total fucking dick and also happens to be short, in my head, he gets classified with short man syndrome. And I know it's wrong because there's nothing inherently bad about being a man who's short, and it's nothing you can help. And it's horrible that I even think that.
But it's also Napoleon concept, or
right. It's like the overcompensating thing, the complex. You're talking about.
I have whiskey today, so it's kicking in.
Yeah. Drink some more. It's okay. Maybe it will be a funnier show. Yeah, so like I know I struggle with that because I know that's wrong to judge people because of that. But it's just like when you meet enough guys that are short and because of that seem to be a dick. And maybe they're just a dick and it's not related to the fact that they're short. In which case it's even worse. It probably
comes into play in their upbringing though, in a lot of it. Because it's so, like, it probably so tormented. Like all through middle school and high school. Those are rough years.
Yeah.
The formative years.
And
so you kind of,
I
said, I am short. And so I kind of have to be, okay. So I always had to be tougher. I'm a female and I'm a female and everybody looked at me like I was cute, like I was a doll, like I was this precious thing. Yeah. Because I've always been,
like, I've always
been kind of, cute and tiny and whatever. But there was also like this, especially when I was having like my knee surgeries and stuff, and I would have like a walker or crutches or something. There was an assumption that I was stupid because it was a disability in some way. So I always felt like I had to prove myself more. Like I had to be smarter. I had to be tougher. I had to have kind of a mouth. That's probably where my attitude was developed. I had to be like, because otherwise I would get overlooked if I didn't stand out. So this is therapy. Oh my God, I can save money this week. Whew, I feel so much better. No, I'm done. Bill. It's free. So yeah, that's probably comes into play to a certain extent. And guys even have it even tougher, I imagine, because there's this assumption of the big protector and the strong guy. And So,
right.
And I was cute and tiny.
And that part of masculinity is,
But for me, it's, I have two. It's the jock. I assume they're fucking idiot. And I'm going to speak super slowly to you. Jocks. But that's not fair that someone was actually just genetically, they're stronger. If someone is just from a family where they're just genetically stronger, that doesn't mean they're an idiot. Not necessarily. I assume you are. And then the blonde bimbo, the blonde bimbo person, I'm just not going to be friends with her because I don't like her. And that's not fair to either one of them. It's not fair. But it's in my head is like, oh, idiot, asshole, and, dumb, shallow bitch. Like that's not fair. It's not fair.
I do both of those. I can't help it. It's from stereotypes. Exactly. It's not that I've personally met that many blonde women that are incredibly stupid.
Exactly,
it's stereotypes,
which isn't fair.
And I know it is. No, and it's something I need to work on within myself.
I'm all set in my ways at 27.
No, I'll do the work. I'll do the work for both of us, I do on this podcast. So.
Yeah. Let's go to the newsroom for this important announcement.
When it matters, Secular Soup is here. And Secular Soup is here because of you. Because of the thousands of people like you who support this podcast, you hear the news and commentary that really matters. If you've never been a member, now more than ever before is the time to invest in Secular Soup. Your contribution of just $1 per episode will help keep this train wreck going for years to come. Don't just think about it, do it. Become a sustaining member now at patreon.com and pledge at the tomato, chicken noodle, bread bowl, or lobster bisque level. Or make a one-time gift on PayPal by sending money to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. That's patreon.com, 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 or secularsouppodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's something that can help. So I don't understand. I don't know. But I wouldn't want someone to make fun of me for my job.
Yeah, I paint dirty things on rocks. I'm no one to talk. I shouldn't.
I do really boring things.
I don't want
to talk about what I do. I do really boring stuff. I have really boring
You really
jobs.
do. You have a pretty boring job.
Yeah, and I have degrees in that too. So it's my actual expertise. And I'm like, what did I do to myself? I painted myself into this corner and because when I was looking at career paths and I was looking at, degree plans and stuff, I love science. So I was biochemistry and I love science. There's no money in science. So I went the practical salary.com route and found something that would make money. And that's what I got my degrees in. Mm-hmm. So, I don't make money because I don't, but
yeah,
that's what my degrees are in. So I'm like,
but you're supposed to.
Well, I'm marketable. I'm just applying for jobs all the time right now because,
I just went ahead and dropped out of college with only 1 year to go, and now I paint dirty slogans on rocks for a living. So, yay me! I am winning at life.
I think that sounds fun.
I will say that despite the fact that I make no money at it, it really kind of is my dream job.
Cathartic.
I can be crafty and use my creativity and my profanity, and it's wonderful. I sold my bucket that I painted. I got to paint another one.
I don't have a dream job that I would look forward to going to every day. I really would like to just nap and hang out with my man Don, and that's pretty much it.
And judge people silently,
constantly, silently. Yeah. Who judges silently?
Oh, true. Loudly.
Look at this bitch. Ugh.
My dream job
thinks she's married to this guy in my bed.
My dream job is a professional, highly paid Netflix reviewer. I would just watch all the shows and they would just pay me to watch them.
That would be good. I'd be a food taster too. Job. I would do food tasting.
Oh, I could do that.
I don't have any major allergies. I'm mildly allergic to garlic, but it's not going to kill me. It'll just make my tongue itch. So I can eat whatever I want and gain all the weight because I do that. And yeah, that's. Let's see.
I would love if I could just eat things while watching Netflix all day.
If I lived in Colorado, I would test things for people. But I do not because it's illegal in the state that I'm in. So,
and you are nothing if not a law follower.
I am a law-abiding citizen.
You are the Law and Order podcaster,
exactly.
Just like Donald Trump wants you to be. Because
I do everything he tells me because he's
why wouldn't you?
He's my man. So yeah, he's we're building a wall this weekend. It's going to be pretty fun.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I know. So
are you going to have like a barbecue and everything? And
yes.
Invite people over?
I'm not inviting anyone over. I don't like anybody.
That's true. If I happen to be in town, can I come?
Yeah, you can meet him. We can make fun of his neck waddle. Wait.
Oh, that'll be a good time.
Where did we fall on that? Was that okay?
Body shaming.
Oh, damn it.
Shit. Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum. I think we need to get an ethicist on here to talk about it.
What if you fetishize it?
Oh, that's a whole nother problem.
Is it a problem or is it an awesome thing?
Could go either way.
I'm not sure.
I'm so confused about life now, Amy. This episode has ruined me. I don't know what to do.
And we stayed on topic. What is wrong with us?
We totally didn't deviate from the topic at all.
What is wrong with us? I don't even know what's happening anymore.
I don't know. What I do know is that we do not have any new patrons this week. So people need to
get your shit together, guys.
Fucking
Come
ball
on.
And get on Patreon. We do have a whole slew of patrons at this point, including Maddie Love and Jerry Gaddy and the Bi Skeptical podcast.
We're going to be on their podcast in March. Maddie Love.
Oh, yes. Atheist Talk. I got confused for a whole second there. Yes, in March we get to be on Atheist Talk live.
Oh.
They're gonna let us on live.
What's their swearing policy? Because I need to know.
No swearing.
Got it.
Is on radio.
Okay, I can do. I am equipped for radio. I can do this thing.
So I can buckle up, bitches, for that one.
So shut the fuck up, Amy. Do not swear.
You have no idea how hard this is going to be for me. But Marissa McCool, our producer, has promised to be in studio with a ruler just to keep me on task.
Yeah, for you, but who's going to be in my studio?
I asked that. I said, who's going to fly to Texas and keep Amy in line? And nobody really knew. So...
And if someone spanks me, I might like it. It turns into this whole thing.
It's gonna be just weird.
And then I start calling some random person daddy. It's this whole. Yeah. It's gonna be bad.
They even have like a call-in feature. People can call into the show. That could get weird.
We're gonna stack it against us. We're gonna be like, call in and call us bitches. No, don't do that.
Yeah. Only if you're Tom and Cecil, and only because we want free publicity. So
they need to actually join this feud because we're feuding at them.
They're doing a really shit job at this feud, I gotta say.
It's like the worst feud ever.
I haven't heard a peep out of them trashing our show.
They're running scared.
Maybe. They know we're coming to take them over.
What are they going to say? Those bitches, those women. Oh, shit. You just yelled at two women. They're moms. Their show is, nothing. It's tiny. Yes. It's new. They're just. Wow. Mm-hmm. That's not okay, guys.
They're sexist, really, is what they are. They're sexist, they are inconsiderate, and they're both monsters, so...
And all the body shaming, that direction.
And they body shame everybody on their show. It's really all they do.
That's what's kind of hard. So I love god-awful movies. Love it. But it's kind of hard when they talk about the physical appearance of people. I'm like, even though I laugh every time because it's hilarious. But I'm just like... Yikes. Like, it's not her fault. She looks like a shark. Mm-hmm. But I still don't know what that means, but it's okay.
I always
are you
used
ready?
to have a hard time. Well, I had one minor anecdote I could tell you.
Okay.
So South Park, I used to love watching South Park. I've become a lot more lukewarm about South Park as of late, but One thing that really bugs me about that show is that they will make fun of people just for their appearance. Like they have a whole thing with Sarah Jessica Parker and with Barbara Streisand, and typically it's with women. And like they're not making fun of them because of anything they've done or because they don't like it. It's just they just think it's funny to make fun of their appearance, and that really pisses me off. I don't find that funny. Like you said, there's people are terrible, and you can find things to make fun of them
people
about.
Are the worst.
If they're awful, make fun of them for that. You don't need to just make fun of people because you think they're ugly. That's not funny. I don't.
Actually, I do want to say something really fast. In our super secret group, I do want to say, like, everybody in the world is the worst. But the people in that group have been just so incredibly amazing. And I just wanted to say thank you. And you guys are amazing and have made my entire, I don't even know how long. I'm just, they've been amazing, and I'm touched, and I've been crying all day in good ways. So
to be clear, you're not talking about our secret soup group, because
I'm talking about the super secret girls group.
Yes, that none of you belong. Well, several of you listening do belong to it, but if you don't belong to it and you don't know what we're talking about, you don't get in and you don't get to belong to it. So fuck off. It is amazing.
I just wanted to say that to give a shout out, and to Roxy specifically, because she's the one that talked about body shaming, and it was a great idea because it gave us an opportunity to body shame everybody. So, which is what I've been dying to do for like weeks. Be like, hey.
I mean, body shaming's kind of my favorite thing ever. I can't get enough of it. It's so much fun.
Exactly.
It's like I get bored and I think, what can I do right now besides watch Netflix? Oh, I know. I can body shame people.
So do you have any more anecdotes? Or?
I don't have any more fun anecdotes other than
fun fact.
Yeah. Send us money on Patreon. And if you can't do, some people are afraid of commitment, and we're talking to men, FYI. Patreon is a per episode donation type thing. But if you're afraid to commit to that sort of thing, which we totally get, because we wouldn't want to commit to us either. I mean, this show could go off the rails at any time.
I mean, literally.
Send us just a one-time donation to our PayPal account, which is secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. I just used some of our funds to mail Amy her lovely soup bowl that I made.
Finally. I don't have any bowls in my house, so,
Well, this is going to be great. And when you get it, we're going to take pictures of us with our bowls. And then future patrons are going to start getting hand-painted by yours truly soup bowls.
That's right.
Shipped right to your house using these funds that we're getting. So, yeah, anyway, just yet another plug to send us money, please.
All right. She's stepping all over my outro.
I begged. Okay, let's wrap this bitch up.
Okay. And that's all we have for now. Thanks to our fabulous listeners who put up with droning on week after week. If you enjoy our delightful bitchcraft, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and send us all of your monies on Patreon. You can find us on these platforms by using the Google machine. It's not that hard. This week, your donations will go to the box DVD sets of the Waltons. If you want to tell the world about how awful this episode was, join our Secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell us to fuck off personally, you can send us an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help us spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular Soup Creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.